Back, everyone. It's midday SuperTalk Mississippi live from the Element Wealth Studios. Joining us now,
Mississippi News.
Kelly Bennett, Multimedia Journalist, SuperTalk Mississippi News. How about it, Kelly?
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Tell me what you're talking about this past week.
Well, I think the big thing we need to let everybody in the audience know is daylight saving time kicks in Sunday morning, so it's time to spring forward. Don't forget about that. Check your smoke alarm batteries. This is the time of year you're supposed to do that. Make sure everything's in order. By the way, you're supposed to replace a smoke alarm every 10 years, or if you do the test and it just doesn't work for you.
Yeah. Heard that as well, and you know, have been honored to serve on the board of the Red Cross in the Southwest chapter here in Mississippi, and I was shocked when I first joined that board to learn that the catastrophe to which the disaster, I should say, the disaster to which the Red Cross responds to the most is house fires. I was shocked to learn that.
I didn't even know
house
that.
fires. House fires. They said in Mississippi, it's one a week in Mississippi. One a week. You know, something that one a week doesn't typically make the news, I guess, maybe. But
Are
they
we
respond.
higher than other states?
I don't know. Haven't researched that. I was just surprised to hear about that. I know I had an employee 5 or 6 years ago when I was still in business that over Christmas, the employee's wife, 3 young children, and they were out, came back, house burned to the ground situation. Just a tragic occurrence. But you're right. And smoke alarms, very important.
Another thing that shocks me is the amount of Mississippians that aren't wearing their seatbelts. We had a really bad accident earlier this week, I believe it was, where a gentleman lost 3 family members in an accident. Nobody in the car had their seatbelt in. They had a child in there that wasn't in a child car seat. And he's out this week on the coast going, please, everybody, make sure you're buckled in.
Yeah. Every time we have the Department of Public Safety folks on, Captain Turnipseed, Chris Turnipseed, of course, is a spokesperson, communications director, and he always gives me an update on how many dang tickets they write over the busy travel weekends for not having seatbelts. I'm always shocked when he tells me how many that is.
It is.
And that's just shocking. The ones they see and know about, which is incredible.
Yeah.
All right,
so
what's going on?
You've been talking
please.
Finances and taxes and interest rate increases and all the money stuff everybody's concerned about. But it is Friday, so I thought I'd bring up some fun. Did you see former Miss Mississippi Holly Brand on The Voice Monday night?
I didn't, but I saw reports of it, and I listened to a couple of clips. Unbelievable.
Yes. Her hitting those high notes. She's amazing. 22 years old, from Meridian. And I'm not really a person that watches these shows at night, but I'll be watching The Voice to root for Holly Brand this time around. Yeah. And she's on Kelly's team, and I'm a big Kelly Clarkson fan. So.
Yeah. Well, we're not surprised that such exceedingly high artistic talent, musical talent coming out of Mississippi. We've got a legacy of really incredible talent, so much musical talent out of our state.
Very true. Very true. Now, this is a week where we're past the halfway point in the legislative session. We had a big Wednesday deadline for lawmakers to get everything from one chamber to the other. A lot of bills are in conference at this point. And as a news person, this is where you do a story 1 hour and the next hour it's out of date. They've already changed it. They've added amendments. So it's been fun keeping up with all that this week. But we do have some bills, and I had brought up, hang on, I need my notes, Gerard. On the governor's desk, you've got postpartum Medicaid extension from 2 months to a year. which he's promised to sign. You've got the nurse loan repayment program, which is supposed to help eliminate the nursing shortage that we're dealing with in Mississippi. He's already signed the transgender bill.
Hmm.
The EV bill that I know you love. That's your favorite bill that legislators are trying to get through this year, isn't it, Gerard?
HB 401, worst bill ever to be introduced in the Mississippi State Capitol.
You think? I
My
think
opinion.
we've gotten to this point in 2023 where we've got 50-year-old laws on the books, like the franchise law dealing with auto dealers, and we're still trying to operate according to those laws. And maybe it's time to update. I mean, things have changed in the last 50 years, just a little bit,
Just a
right?
little. Yeah, I totally
Yeah,
agree. We've got Senator Daniel Sparks coming on the program in half an hour, and he and I will talk about this specifically, as a matter of fact. Looking forward to that.
definitely.
Yeah. So those are big
Fentanyl
deals on the governor's desk. Those are big issues. Go ahead. Fentanyl testing as well, right?
fentanyl testing strips is
Strips.
another
Yeah.
one. Yeah, the strips. And apparently they've got some kind of wipe coming out in the future too that'll make it easier. I think this is a no-brainer for Governor Reeves to go ahead and sign this bill. It basically takes these strips off the drug list that you can be arrested for.
Right.
That's a great bill.
Has he
Uh,
said where he
how,
stands on that? I don't know that he has. Has he said where he stands on that? I'm not sure
I
he's
haven't heard
offered
a
an
word.
opinion. Yeah.
I haven't heard a word. No, I'm still waiting to hear from him on a lot of things that are on his desk. The ballot initiative is still alive.
Yep.
And the House amended the Senate bill. It originated in the Senate this time around. And they brought the number of signatures required down and made a couple of changes. I don't know if you heard House Minority Leader Robert Johnson on Gallo this morning, but boy, he was not happy about these amendments to the ballot initiative. He was saying, look, if we're going to give voters a chance to bring something up and put it on a ballot, then they should be free to bring up whatever they want. We shouldn't be putting restrictions on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I heard him a bit. I didn't hear the entire interview, but he's made it clear that he opposes those sorts of restrictions being attached to the ballot initiative process. I heard he also said that he told Mr. Gallo, my brother in broadcasting, as Paul likes to say, that he likes coming on his show better than he does mine.
Oh, you heard that. I wasn't going to mention that, Gerard.
Well, I'm not
You think
sure
he's
if I
just
should
saying
be.
that to
Yeah, I
maybe
do.
placate Gallo a little bit since they were kind of at odds this morning?
I think that's probably true. I always enjoy having Representative Johnson on. I think he enjoys coming on the program. We don't see
I
eye
think he
to eye
does.
across the board. I think that's pretty evident. He knows that. I know that. But we still have, I think, a productive conversation when he's here.
But you know what? That's right. And it's okay. We don't all have to get along and agree on everything. But I think the whole point of the Super Talk Network, the radio stations, and the news team is to have a conversation on these issues and
Sure.
talk about these issues and discuss them and do it without getting ugly about it.
Totally agree. And, as
Yeah,
we approach to that point, Kelly, as we approach elections, and we're soon as they sine die, it's going to be just full-throated campaign season.
yes.
As you know, we've got some very contentious campaigns, and the candidates typically come on both programs.
Uh-huh.
Candidates that are competing against each other for the same seat, they come on both programs, and they have an opportunity to discuss their campaigns. We
Sling a little mud.
Yeah, well, they may, but we don't. We just ask questions, and I've had folks from past campaigns, shall we say, that have said, "Well, you were too easy on that." So for the same race, two different candidates, I'll have the camp say, "Well, you were too easy on the other one," and vice versa from the other one. Like, okay, well, that means I did right. Too easy,
Well,
too
and
hard, whatever.
you can't
Yeah,
control what your listeners think at the end of the interview. That's on them. So, you
yeah,
move on. Hey,
yeah.
all these stories we talked about, go to supertalk.fm for more details on them.
Yep, exactly. Appreciate it, Kelly. Good to talk to you, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks a lot.
You got it. Coming right back with more in the